So Spirit held me hostage for 2 months, and it feels so good to be back with all of you, my friends. I feel like I have quantum leaped like 10,000 timelines in just the past 2 months alone. So today's video, I'm gonna get a bit more personal and go into what I've been up to for the past 2 months, what has been keeping me. And we're gonna dive into that. But first, for those of you who may not know me, first off, why are you here? Why did you click on this video if you don't know who I am already? And second, know that my name is Hannah and I empower you to empower yourself. And today it's my intention to do that by sharing a little bit about my personal experiences the past couple of months and basically how I see my part in New Earth just coming to fruition and how quick and how easily things can manifest now when we are in this sense of alignment. And so it's really my intention not only to share with you guys what I've been up to, where I've been at, but I hope that I can inspire you to do the same in your own lives, because it became very, very clear to me. I've been talking about this for a while, but I really saw it from a different angle on just how important each and every one of us is to building the new earth. It's like each of us holds our own unique puzzle piece, if the new earth were a puzzle, and we're all coming together now with our puzzle pieces and building that puzzle together. We're completing the puzzle now. And so, I'm excited to talk about my puzzle piece and hopefully to also give you guys some tips and some motivation on how to do this, how to ride the fire horse, because that's what it's felt like since the last time I checked in with you guys. Literally, that's what it's been. It's like the energy of riding that fire horse, and it is hot. It is hot. Things are moving so quickly, and I say that as a native year of the horse person and a serial fire sign. This is intense energy, but in the most transformative and empowering sort of way. So what have I been up to? Well, I teased it a bit yesterday if y'all happen to read the YouTube posts. So I put this image in the post, and I'll put it up here. I'll put it up here somewhere so you guys can just look at it again. So what this is the logo for my video game. Yay! So this is the reveal of my video game officially. I've talked about it, but now you've got a title. You've got a title to the project, and that title, my friends, is Dragon Soul Awakening. So I'm curious what you guys think. I literally could not have thought of more of a perfect title for the video game that I would one day be making. I really, really feel like it is a culmination of everything that I teach in Own Your Powers in a video game. And so essentially this here, you can blame this. This has been what has kept me the past couple of months. I did not intend to take the past couple of months off. It was completely unintentional. Spirit just pulled the rug out from under me, and somehow I became essentially a full-time game dev in the past 2 months. It is freaking wild, my friends. And so it all started with my group program that I launched for the very first time a couple of months ago. That was probably like the last time you guys saw me, was when I was talking about that. I did a live right before we went live with the program. That might be the last time you guys have seen me in the past couple of months. And that is not a coincidence, because holy shit, friends, this experience, this initiation, the program is called Path of the Dragon Initiate. This initiation is completely blown my expectations on like what is possible, really. Like I've been walking clients, students, mentees through this experience, through this framework the past year. However, it's always been in a one-to-one container. This was the first time that I hosted it as a group experience, and oh my God, that group energy is insane. It is wildly, wildly powerful, insanely transformational. I am just like, I guess, a living example of it with my game here. There really aren't any words. It has blown all expectations out of the water. It's a really, really lovely experience. And that experience is basically what has caused all of this. It's put it all in motion. The dragons did it. Okay, the dragons did it. So the program, the experience is called Path of the Dragon Initiate, right? It's about getting initiated into the different dragon elemental energies. We work really deeply with the dragons. And so being me, the way that I am, I empower you to empower yourself, right? I don't like to be some teacher like up here on a pedestal just telling y'all what to do and not practicing what I preach, not living it. And so when I host an experience like this, when I teach something like this, I put myself through the exact same framework. I do the homework, I do all of the things just like my students do. And so I've done that with the Path of the Dragon Initiate. And at the beginning of Path of the Dragon Initiate, I invited every student to pick like one specific thing, one specific theme or project that they want to focus on and they want to really like master. They want to, manifest something there. And that's like what we run through the filtering of this initiation that is Path of the Dragon Initiate. And we run that through the filters of like working with the fire dragons, working with the water dragons, the air dragons, so on and so forth, until we've worked with all of them. And so that's a lot of background to say that my thing that I ran through Path of the Dragon Initiate without knowing what would freaking happen was my game, Dragon Soul Awakening. I was like, yeah, let's just fuck around and find out. Let's just see what happens if I put this game up as the offering to the dragons for the Path of the Dragon Initiate. And clearly, you guys haven't seen me since. I think that says a lot. I think it really says a lot. You haven't seen me since because the dragons took that shit and they ran with it. And things have really been happening, manifesting so insanely quick. So I've, been working a little bit, like chipping away at this game for the past year. I got the idea almost exactly a year ago now, and I've been working on it little by little. But there wasn't like much tangible to show for it. But now I can tell you guys that just in the past 2 months alone, like what has happened? What has happened? Where do I even begin? Now I have a website. I have a trailer. I have a Kickstarter page. Please follow my Kickstarter. Like, that would be great. The Kickstarter itself is not live. But if you follow this page, it boosts the algorithm and it lets the Kickstarter reps that I'm working with know that people want to back this project, and it's just a really good thing, and you can do this absolutely for free. Anyways, that's an aside right now. But yeah, there's a Kickstarter page now. There's a website. I've been to multiple like game dev conferences, networking the past couple of months. I now have a permit, like I guess is the best way I could describe this for people who aren't familiar, from the German government to operate a second business, which my game business, I have that now too. It's called Spirit Guide Games. And so now I have 2 businesses. How did this happen? And I literally have a permit now from the German government to run this as its own real actual business. I'm applying for funding from the German government, which I did not know was a thing I could do. The German government, guys, will pay me to make this game. Blew my mind as an American, blew my mind that this was even a possibility. But it's like, yeah, with all these things, if you guys can just feel that energy, that my excitement, the expansiveness, like when I offered this, I offered this to the collective, I offered this to the dragons. And I accepted the call to adventure, you could say. It's like the universe, as I put it, it's just rolled out the red carpet for me. I just keep meeting all the right people. Things are happening so smoothly. It's blowing my mind. Things have not moved this smoothly for me in anything in my life, maybe ever. It's really like a taste of new earth frequency. It's so incredibly exciting. So yeah, that's what I've been working on, is like full-time game dev, really making this a thing. I now have a playable prototype. I can't share that with you guys just yet, but I am going to be featuring this at an in-person event next week. I have stickers. I have stickers for the game. There's so many things I can't even, I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I did it. I'm going to tell you how I did it though. I'm going to tell you how I did it later. But yeah, just when I think of everything that I've accomplished, it is absolutely mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing what is possible when you surrender the ego and you just let your heart lead. And that's what I've done the past 2 months. And that's, what I've witnessed too in the students, the initiates that have gone through and are going through Path of the Dragon Initiate right now, blowing my mind as well. I literally am so inspired and impressed by every single one of my students. Like, it is so cool, like what is happening for my students. Like, I've got like one student had like a viral post, is making money from their services now. Again, less than 2 months. Another student moved to freaking Japan, didn't know they were gonna do that in less than 2 months. Another student is like befriending chimpanzees and like talking to chimpanzees now. Another one is like, getting paid clients for their astrology business. Like, oh my gosh, it's so cool what the students of Initiate are doing and how quickly it's happening. It's happening so quick. It's insane. It's insane. Anyways, I did not mean for this to be like me just gushing about this initiation, but this initiation is what initiated my disappearance for the past 2 months. And I've been there. I've been showing up every week in the Path of the Dragon Initiate. So yeah, if any of my Path of the Dragon Initiate people are watching, represent, represent. It's been such a wild and exciting ride. So yeah, that said, the game, oh my gosh. Yeah, this game is essentially, I don't want to spoil too much in the video. I'm going to do maybe like another video later where I'll talk more about it. But I want to say that the game is very, very, very channeled. It's very, very channeled on one hand. On another hand, it's very, very inspired by my own personal lived experiences. And in short, you can think of this game like Spiritual Awakening Simulator. Okay, that's one of my nicknames for it. It's Spiritual Awakening Simulator. And if you're familiar with video games and pop culture, the elevator pitch for the game is Persona meets Undertale meets The Matrix, but with dragons. So basically, you're escaping your 9-to-5 job that you hate. You're saving the world from an impending apocalypse that no one sees coming, and maybe also you're becoming a dragon in the process. But the question remains, are you a dragon or are you just crazy? So that's what I'll say about the game for now. If you want to check out more, like I said, there's so many things that you could check out. Number one thing, like I said earlier, is the Kickstarter page. If you just go to the link, I'll put it in the description below. You go to the Kickstarter page, you'll be able to see more about the game, for one, and for two, you'll be able to follow the project. And as I always say, me and the dragons will love you forever if you could support us in this, because basically following the project is similar to like liking a YouTube video, let's say, or engaging with a YouTube video. It's showing the algorithm like, hey, this is worth paying attention to. And in my particular case, this is another just synchronicity and how wild like everything's coming together. I'm working with these Kickstarter reps absolutely for free. And these Kickstarter reps, you know, they can actually promote this the game to people that are not in my audience, you know, that are not aware of this stuff at all, that might be ready to have a spiritual awakening or support for that. And they can help get it out to people like that. They can help it get legs, if you will, get reach. However, they need to see that it has legs of its own first. And so that's where you guys can come in and you can support us. So highly recommend, if you are able to do so, you can click that link and follow the project. We will love you forever, like seriously. And that Kickstarter, I am intending to launch that for the month of October. So that is when the Kickstarter should be live. Also at the same time, that's when I'm planning to launch a demo of the game that you can actually play, and you can experience the game for yourself and decide if this is something, you know, you actually want to play. So yeah, there's that. And then there's also, the game has its own website. I have socials for the game now. It's got its own YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel, it's hosting the teaser trailer for the game now, if you want to watch that. And so, yeah, just whatever you feel called. Like, if the game is genuinely intriguing to you, please support us and follow the game. I've created a new newsletter just for the game itself. So it's going to be separate from the Own Your Powers newsletter. So if you're on the Own Your Powers newsletter and yet you find Dragon Soul Awakening interesting and you want to follow the development, highly recommend joining that specific newsletter. And you can do that on the Dragon Soul Awakening website. And so that website is playdragonsoulawakening.com or dsawakening.com. And I'm just like, I'm still geeking out, guys. I'm still struggling to be like, yo, it's got its own website. Like, this was just like a figment of my imagination. Just like a few months ago. What is happening? It's all happening so fast. It's crazy. So yeah, on the note of Kickstarter, okay, so they're telling me, the dragons, that they want me to share like specifics, like get a little bit more into the story of what some of these crazy synchronicities are, like, you know, that I experienced as I was working on the game the past couple of months. And then we're going to use that to kind of bridge into like you and how you can take these energies and run with it and ride your own fire horse, because it's so important. It's so important. And it's not a coincidence that I came back right at this time, right as we're about to enter summer officially, because this is about to be the most transformative fucking summer of your entire life. And if you can ride the fire horse during this summer, you're gonna emerge completely transformed, completely in the new earth. All right, so getting into more of the specifics, the story of what happened, how this came to be. So around the same time that the Path of the Dragon Initiate took off, there was a game conference taking place here in Berlin that I'd known about for a while. And it honestly, like, how I even came to know about this conference was a complete synchronicity. And I put it on my schedule back then, but I wasn't sure if I was going to actually do it or not. Well, like a week or so out from the conference, I just got the hit from my higher self so strongly, like, Hannah, you need to attend the conference. You need to attend the conference. And I was like, oh, do I have to? I don't want to. I was like, it's so out of my comfort zone, guys. It's so out of my comfort zone, higher self. I don't want to talk to people. I'm still in my hermit energy. I'm in my hermit zone. I don't want to disrupt that. And oh man, it's like these people in general at these conferences, they're very, very 3D. I feel like a fish out of water, like completely. Like I can't even speak that 3D language anymore. Do I really got to go to the conference? And my higher self is like, yes. Yes, you got to go to the conference. And so, yeah, it did feel right. It's not just like my higher self is telling me to do things I don't actually want to do. It did feel right when I sat with it. I was like, it's kind of scary in a good way. It feels exciting. And so, a little prep on that. I've been planning for a while. Don't know if I mentioned it before, but I've been planning for a while to do a Kickstarter for this game. But honestly, I kept pushing the date back more and more and more of when I was planning to do it. Oh, it's fine. I can do it. Can do it a few months from now. A few months come. Oh, I can do it a few more months from now. And I kept pushing it back. And so that was already in the energetic field. Well, as it turns out, at this conference, it's actually like sponsored by Kickstarter. I had no idea. And my higher self led me to pay for this like premium option where you can like meet with other people like in the industry, and you can network with people, and you can have a one-on-one meeting with people in the industry. And so I felt called to do that. I had to pay extra for it. And again, I was kind of like whining about, oh, I don't know about this. And I didn't really know where it was going to lead, but I knew it felt right. And for the first, like week or whatever, it didn't lead anywhere. I didn't have like any meetings scheduled for the conference or anything. Then I saw that there was a Kickstarter rep that was like in the database too, that had paid the premium. And he still had like one slot available for like a meeting in his schedule. And so I requested to meet with this guy, and sure enough, I got a meeting with the Kickstarter rep. And this was really like when it all started to just like spiral in a good direction. And so I attend the conference, and all these crazy synchronicities happen. I really don't want to bore you with all the details because I'm in such a hyper focus about this. I could literally talk your ear off for hours on every little crazy synchronicity that came together over the past couple of months. But I will say, like the Kickstarter rep casually mentioned when he was like, oh yeah, looking forward to connecting with you at the conference and stuff. He's like, hey, by the way, we're also hosting this meetup event for women in gaming, which, okay, aside there, this was already just incredibly healing for me, because as like a lifelong gamer girl, like it has been such a wound being like in this world as a girl, as a woman. And I'm sure my other gamer girls know what I'm talking about, and know the vibe, know the feelings. It's tough being in that world, in that industry as a woman. And yet here, this Kickstarter rep literally is hosting an event just for women in gaming. And so I was like, hell yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm totally gonna attend. So I did attend, and I start talking to some of the girls, and then I noticed there's like a woman standing to the side, not talking to anyone, kind of awkward. So we like invite her to talk with us. And as it turns out, she is the other Kickstarter rep. Like, and when she heard that I was like, oh, I have a meeting with your colleague, she's like, I think you have a meeting with me, because they share like an account in the system. And so she checked and was like, yes, I have a meeting with you. So then I got to know this woman like a bit better, and we just like had a connection. Another crazy synchronicity is she's Greek, and I'm planning to take a little trip to Greece in August, which also felt very channeled, out of nowhere, divinely inspired. And sure enough, she's Greek. So that was cool. Then eventually her colleague comes over, which is the guy that I have the meeting with. And he literally, like, when he hears my name and he sees me, he's like, oh, you're the dragon. And friends, when he recognized me as that, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is something magical here. Like, this connection, the fact that he remembered me as the dragon, that's exactly what I want. That's perfect. So I instantly basically connected with these Kickstarter reps. We had some rapport going. That was cool. Then I'm talking to some other women, and this one girl, I show her my website and stuff, and she's like, oh my gosh, I have to introduce you to someone. And so she like goes over and she gets someone, and it turns out to be like the head of this like funding agency, like government agency in Germany, in Berlin specifically, that funds video games. And like this girl just introduced me to this girl that is like this funding rep for video games. And this is when I learned this mind-blowing thing that I could get paid to make my game by the German government. Like the German government will pay you to make video games. What? This still blows my mind. So she was like telling me all about this, and to my utter shock, like I could actually apply. Like I was applicable, like I was eligible to apply. Me. I was like, but I'm a foreigner. Like doesn't matter. I'm able to apply. And so I am in the process of applying now, long story short with that, but that was insane. And so then, you know, I connect with the Kickstarter reps later. They're hosting a workshop, and then they already recognize me. I sit in the front row. We build our rapport even more. And basically we talk after the workshop, and this is what I wanted to share. I think this is such New Earth frequency. So as it turns out, these Kickstarter reps, they can like support me in my Kickstarter campaign, like designing it and stuff, and with the marketing of it and stuff. And they do it for free. What? They do it for free. Mind-blowing to me. Again, I just cannot grasp this. It's like, it's such New Earth energies. Like this is all New Earth energies that the government could pay me to make a game, that like Kickstarter reps gonna help me market my game for free. What? So, and basically how that model works, and this is something that I took note of immediately. It felt like, wow, like make a note of this. This is New Earth energy. Like, because Kickstarter is a crowdfunding platform, which means it's like, you know, the people have to support something for it to get funded. Kickstarter wants those projects, the projects on their platform, to be as successful as possible. And then Kickstarter does get like a small percentage of whatever you get from your Kickstarter campaign. And they use that to run Kickstarter and to pay like these Kickstarter reps, for example. So that's their whole business model. And because of that, like they literally like just want to support people in hosting their own Kickstarter campaigns, like in whatever way they can, absolutely for free. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, this is awesome. This is like win-win-win. I don't see any losing scenario here. This is the New Earth, guys. This is the New Earth. Because it's like, you know, when I host a Kickstarter, it's like, hey, I can get funding for my game. That's awesome. That supports me in going full time as a game dev. And then the people that support the Kickstarter, you know, they get to be a part of like this awesome movement. And if you're not familiar with Kickstarter, the platform, I'm like a total nerd for it now. Like I've supported so many projects already. Like, you get special rewards when you back projects like at certain tiers and stuff. So like the backers get a win because they get to have these like exclusive rewards, and they get to be a part of this community that's just emerging, and they get to support a project, and it feels so fucking good. I can tell you, like having done that many times now. And then the Kickstarter itself as the company and the people that work for it, like these reps, it's win for them, because if you have more of a successful Kickstarter, that means they also get more money and they get paid more. So I'm just like, this is an ingenious, genius system. I absolutely love it. This is the New Earth. Amen. Amen. And yeah, like things just kept manifesting from there. Like I said, I could talk your ear off for like hours. I don't necessarily want to do this in this video. It's already getting a bit longer than I intended for it to be. But it's every single thing so far in support of the game has just worked out and exceeded my wildest dreams. Truly, it is absolute fucking magic. And I'm so excited to see where it continues to lead me. And so that's where we bring it to you. We bring it to you, friends. What is that thing for you? Because we all have the thing, right? I said at the beginning of the video, It's like we each have our own puzzle piece right now. We're all building the new earth, which is this giant puzzle together. You each have our puzzle piece. And it can look, like wildly different. Like in my case, it's making a video game. Like a lot of people would write that off as something completely frivolous and not life-changing at all. But it's the thing that I feel called to do. And I have a feeling it's going to have a very big positive effect on people. And meanwhile, like maybe for someone else, their thing is like, hey, I really want to have a pet. Let's say my friend, I'm just thinking of one of my good friends. He has never had like a pet of his own and struggles with avoidant attachment, and just got suddenly like the call, like, I really want a cat. I really want a cat. That's his thing right now, to have a cat. That's building the new earth. Maybe for someone else, it's like you want to have a kid, and it's like a bit bigger, but it's still a very personal thing. You want to have a kid. Maybe for someone else, it is like a very big thing, like obvious thing, like where you want to get into politics or something. I don't know. Maybe you want to be a coach like myself, like I'm doing now. In any case, you want to be a teacher on YouTube. Maybe you just want to do arts. Like the sky is the limit. How do you know what this thing is? It's like, if you just place your hand on your heart right now, I'm really like in the frequency of this. I've been in the frequency of it, if you couldn't feel this entire video. What's in your heart right now? Right here. What is the thing? What is the thing that your heart is saying, like, yo, this is the thing? Do that. Do that thing, no matter what. And I will say, like, it's gonna be scary. That's a good sign. That means it's the right thing, actually. If it's scary, like in an expansive way, in a growth-oriented way, that's exactly what you want. It's been scary as shit to be working on this video game. I've had so many moments where I'm so out of my comfort zone. I was like literally shaking at these conferences multiple times, like going back into old patterns of being like shy, imposter syndrome, little Hannah, that is like so self-conscious, can't talk to people, has like crippling social anxiety. I can tell you I've visited that version of myself multiple times over this process. And, but it still feels so good. I literally, I enjoy German bureaucracy, friends, because it's like, it's connected to this dream. It's connected to this key of building new earth. I enjoyed like applying for my permit to have the Spirit Guide Games business. Never in a million years would I think I would enjoy any sort of bureaucracy, let alone German bureaucracy, which can be really brutal. But I enjoyed it and am enjoying every step of this process, even when it's difficult and even when it's scary. And that's how you know it's the right thing. And yeah, I will say, like I said at the beginning of the video, right, in the thumbnail, Spirit held me hostage. And what I meant by that is that at times over the past couple of months, like my ego was saying like, yo, you need to like get back to own your powers. You need to like do another video, or else your followers are going to forget about you. Like your friends and your own your powers buddies, they're going to forget that you even exist. They're not going to care. Like the imposter syndrome was strong. They're like, the algorithm needs you to feed it, damn it. You need to keep putting out content, feed that content into the machine, god damn it, or else the algorithm is going to forget that you exist. And it's like my ego kept being like, you need to do this, you need to get back. And yet my soul, my higher self, my guides were like, no, it's not right. It doesn't feel aligned right now. The time will come, and here we are. The time has come. Now it feels aligned. It feels right again. But yeah, I really had to test myself and, not act from that place of ego anymore, of fear is essentially what it is. Not acting from a place of fear, acting from a place of love and expansiveness rather than fear. So this is also how you know that you found the thing, is it just feels like love. There's no fear. Even if like you're scared because the old identity, it still feels good. You get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Am I talking to the void here? So yeah, it's important to check in with yourself now and then you want to take consistent daily action towards that thing. Really like keep yourself accountable every day, taking action towards that. And I always got to specify this because we're all unlearning this, that like discipline, consistency, that doesn't mean doing things you don't want to do necessarily. It doesn't mean forcing yourself and like being aggressive with yourself. Not at all. Like in this case, an example for you is like, now part of my process is because there's so much happening with the energies, like with Ascension, with my game, with Own Your Powers, with my personal life. There's so much happening that I have to take like a detox day every Sunday now where I don't look at any social media. I don't open my phone. I don't talk to people. I just sit in my own energy. I sleep. I clean my apartment. I rest, I meditate, I journal maybe. Usually I'm not even working on the game. I'm just recharging my energy, but that's part of the consistency. That's part of the process. What you do here when you found your thing is you just, every day you ask yourself, hand on the heart, like, what can I do today? What's the aligned action for me to take today that will get me closer to this thing that I want, to manifesting the life that I want, to manifesting the dream that I want, to embodying it, to embodying the new earth. And then whatever it is, you do that thing and just let the rest unfold. Let the universe roll the red carpet out for you, because that's what it's doing now, my friend. A big message that came through today with my, one-on-one clients and group clients was get out of your own way. You got to get out of your own way here. That's all that's left to do. We're so used to like really struggling through things, yeah? And forcing things, chasing things, making shit happen, right? But we've reached a point where that doesn't fly anymore. Actually, the thing that flies is just letting go, letting it all unfold, and just doing things that like genuinely feel good and know that it can be easy. And it's like, oftentimes it's like, the thing that feels good in my case, like is working on this game. And the other things that don't feel so good are the things that like my ego says I need to do it or I'm not going to survive. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. And it's really a struggle sometimes. It's a struggle sometimes to trust that doing the thing that feels truly expansive is going to lead you to a safer, better place. But no, this is your sign. It will. It will. So if you're still here watching this video, I want you to know you are held through this process. Test it. See what happens. See what magic and miracles unfold for you as you start to embody this. Okay? So, there's so many other things I wanted to say. Like, I literally could talk for hours about everything that has happened. But I'll leave it with, again, wrapping it up nicely with my game. I really feel like why I'm called to do this game, I see it from a different layer now, is like we're at a point now where it's not about just learning things and receiving information from here, from the head. So I know, when I first had my spiritual awakening, for the first half of my spiritual awakening, many years, it was all about learning so many new things and doing courses and, studying, watching so many YouTube videos, reading personal development books and figuring shit out, doing shadow work, journaling the fuck out of everything. It was very, very mental realm focused. Not to say that isn't right or wrong. It's, I think it was right for me at the time, but I think I've reached a point where that is not right anymore. And what's right is embodiment. It's living. It's just experiencing. And I've noticed that this is the case for many others as well. It's it's not going to cut it just learning things. And that's exactly, I realized why I was called and why my guides are so supportive of me creating this game, even sometimes over like Own Your Powers and this channel, this brand, because they're saying it's like a game is, what this is it's like it allows you to experience. It becomes a bridge. And of course it still can't be the same as like you just actually experiencing and embodying these teachings. It's not the same, but it's a bridge to help you experience and embody what I teach. So rather than just like on Own Your Powers, you know, in my like courses that I offer, my programs here, so much of it is you receiving activations, receiving energy. It's like, you know, listening to things, taking in words, but there isn't so much embodiment. And now with this game, I can help you, hopefully, and others get into that embodiment to a deeper degree. And that's what the game, I believe, offers. And so I'm super excited about it. Also, I mean, I'm a gamer nerd. I always have been. So this is like a lifelong dream coming true. So, and yeah, that they're saying also like this is also a cheat code to know like what your thing is. Like, what have you always loved that maybe like you convinced yourself like you could never do that thing, you could never have that thing and pay your bills, you know? What is that thing? Because maybe, just maybe, that's like your unique piece, your unique puzzle piece that only you can bring to the puzzle, the mosaic that is the new earth. Try that on for size, my friends. Whew, so this was a super long video in the end. Kudos to you if you stayed till the end. And I'm curious, as always, you know, me and the dragons will love you forever if you could engage with this in some way. So please let me know, what have you been up to in the past couple of months yourself? I've missed you. I've missed connecting with you guys. Hopefully, you know, I'm not going to just disappear for another 2 months again or even longer. But I will say, I can't predict, you know, how things are going to go with this. Just like I couldn't predict that I was going to disappear for 2 months. It's like, it just happened. I was like, oh, it's been 2 months since I last hung out with my audience. Dang, that was crazy. What a wild ride. So if I disappear again, probably this is what it is. It's Dragon Soul Awakening's fault. God damn it. So go follow that newsletter and maybe you'll stay in the know, even if I disappear here for a while. But it's not my intention to disappear anytime soon from Own Your Powers. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens though. But yeah, let me know how you guys have been, you know, what's coming up for you. And most importantly, I would love to hear what your piece of the puzzle, what your piece of the New Earth mosaic is. Know that just owning it, claiming it, that's the first step, friend. That is the first step to really, really building it, bringing it to the table. So I really look forward to co-creating this new earth with you guys, friends. It is not a drill. Like, we are in the energies now. This shit's manifesting. And I hope that my personal story shows you that, like, shows you what's possible when you just surrender to the flow of this, how quickly things can shift, how quickly they can change for you. And so, as always, also, like, yo, if you could support us on Kickstarter, follow that Kickstarter. Oh my gosh, that would be such an incredible help, such an incredible support. Of course, only if you're genuinely interested in the project. So you can check it out, watch the trailer. If it calls to you, yeah, please support us. We would love to have you as a part of the awakening, as I'm putting it. And yeah, on this part of the journey. So I'm gonna dip out there, my friends, but no, yeah, I hope you can feel it. Oh, sending you guys so much love. Like, whoo, y'all have done amazing. We are doing an amazing job ushering in this new earth. Keep on keeping, my friends. You've got this. You are so much more powerful than you know. Much love and stay powerful.